Hi, everyone. Hope there's some people on already. We've got a couple of minutes to go. Just type in the chat box. Oh, hi, Lucy. I even put makeup on today. I've got lipstick on and everything. That is highly unusual for me. First live for me. Oh, okay. Let me turn up my volume. How's that, Lucy? Is that any better? Hi. Can't see who you are because I need you to approve. I'm using StreamYard, and if you read um, the post, if you click on it and go through, oh, great. If you click on it and go through, you can give them approval to show your name. Because it's a third-party app, apparently Facebook doesn't like to show it in a group. Oops. I never usually wear lippy, but I thought I'd at least spruce up my top half. My bottom half, I've still got flip-flops on, so I'm staying true to myself. Look, if you haven't approved StreamYard to show your name, if you can just type who you are when you ask a question, that'd be great. Oh, hi, Rose. Rose is having trouble today with her live streaming sites, and that's including changing across to the full screen of the live. Oh, sorry to hear that, Rose. Hopefully this will go well today. It's my first bite at the cherry. How's the video? Is it okay? Is it coming through okay? It's not jerky or anything? Yes, definitely the value of doing it on a webcam, that you can just focus on the top half of you. Crisp and clear, that's great. The only problem is I can't see, unless you've approved StreamYard for using your name, I can't see who you are or your photo. Oh, great, Lucy. That's great. Sometimes with video over the internet can take a couple of minutes to settle down. I know that. Well, we're talking about pricing today, and I have received quite a few questions, which were all good questions, but I'm actually going to share a slide because I want to talk about pricing as a whole package, not just how much you can charge an hour. So let me see if I can share this slide. So pricing is a bit of a balancing act. On one side, you've got the client, and the other side, you've got you. Now, because most VAs have come from an employed situation, it means that they bring that mindset with them. So you're used to getting paid a salary, you're used to getting paid for your time. But when you're running a business, there's more costs. For number one, you should invest in marketing. So you should be spending money on some type of marketing. And number two, you should be spending money on professional development. So money like joining one-to-one temps or signing up for courses and developing those skills. So that's an added cost, and they're hours that are not billable. So you can't make that money back again. So it means that when you're working out how much to charge your clients, you have to cover those costs. And then, of course, there's the cost of running the business as well. So we're not just talking about your time when we talk about pricing. On the other side, we've got the value to the client. And I'll tell you now that clients don't buy on price. They'll buy on price if you don't give them anything else to judge it on, right? That's a great measurement to judge whether they go with the first VA or the second VA. If you don't tell them that the reason why you charge more or the reason why they should go with you, then they'll compare you on price. But really, clients don't want to buy on price. They want to buy on value to them. And we know that the three things that clients value most are reliability, competence, and honesty. And if you've got those three attributes in how you present yourself and how you brand yourself, clients will want to hire you because that's what they're looking for. So on the other side of the coin, there's also what they're willing to pay. They're running a business as well. They've got a budget to follow. When they go looking for a VA and for help, they have an idea in their head how much they want to pay. Just like every VA has an idea in their head about how much they want to earn and how much they'll work for. They'll also look at the market rate. So, and the problem with looking at a market rate is you're assuming that all VAs are the same, when in fact, as a VA yourself, your job is to stand out and be different. So why should clients hire you over every other VA out there? They're looking for quality and they're looking for urgency, most of them, because they'll leave it to the last minute before they come and look for you. And also that emotion, they want someone that they can work well with as well. So I just wanted to start there and talk about that balancing act. Now, let me remove that from the screen because it's a little bit distracting. Okay. The other thing, there's a couple of key points as well, is that you should always try and give clients a choice. Because if it's a take it or leave it type situation, most people want a choice. You think about it yourself. When you go shopping, you're comparing prices and you want choices. The other thing I wanted to, as a key part of today, is you're in the business of finding clients and keeping clients, and that should be your mindset. Nothing else. That's what you're in the business of doing, finding clients and keeping them. And that's important because if you get really focused on the little details, like how much can I earn an hour, you lose the overall aspect of your business and you get really bogged down in the detail and you tend to end up always on that detail instead of thinking about the bigger picture. So the bigger picture of every business is to find clients and keep them. So there's three. Now, if you agree with what I'm saying, just click an emoji. Any emoji will do. And it's a really difficult platform, this, because I'm not getting any feedback. I'm also using a third-party app. So if you're happy with what I'm saying, smiley face will do, or a wow face, or a heart, or anything. And if you disagree, pick a drink or something. Go and have a drink, Liz. So there's three main types of pricing in any VA business. The first one is quantity pricing. And quantity pricing only happens for certain types of work. So one of those types of work would be proofreading, where the VA would charge per word. Okay. Another type of service would be transcription, where you charge per transcription minute. Right? That's number one. Number two is on a retainer basis, where the client wants to develop a relationship with you. and they want to hire you on a regular basis, and they want you to do certain types of work. Um, this is probably the area that most virtual assistants struggle with, but I'm going to give you an easy workaround for it, so don't worry. So there's the retainer basis, there's the quantity basis, retainer basis, and then the last one is a project based, where there's a beginning and an end, and there's probably some deliverables. So the client may pay you 50% upfront, pay you in each deliverable, and then pay you a final amount when you deliver and when they sign off on that project. Now, who noticed I didn't say hourly rate? Anyone? Anyone notice I didn't say hourly rate? And I didn't say hourly rate because I don't think you should be charging by the hour. And a lot of VAs will say, but that's impossible. I do admin. And how can I do that? Yeah, retainers are the way to go. Thanks. Roz is giving me tips as I go. Thank you, Roz. Yeah, definitely. I'm scrolling down. What about hourly packages? I don't believe that you should sell hours, and I certainly don't believe that you should discount your time. I see a lot of that, where a VA will put up, I'll if you hire me for 1 to 5 hours, you can pay me $40 an hour, and if you hire me from 5 hours to 10 hours, you can pay me $38 an hour, and if you hire me for 20 hours for a month, I'll charge even less. And what you're really saying to the client is that I charge you too much initially because my hourly rate isn't really $40 an hour. It's really 35 or 30 because I'm willing to work for that for you. And that is the prime example of someone getting caught in the mindset of the minute details of the business. So what am I going to get paid for the next hour? I want to get $50 for the next hour, or I want to, so when they're talking to clients, they're just talking to them about their time. They're not talking about the value you bring to the business. They're not talking about the client's needs. They're not talking about how you can help the client's pain points. So yes, hourly packages are out there, but my advice to you is don't go with the crowd. Be your own person. It's your business, and you need to stand out from the crowd. And one of the ways that you can stand out is through pricing. And this is very important. I really want you to take this in, right? Pricing is not about money. Okay? Pricing isn't about money. It's about the position that you put yourself in the market. So if you look at the market, the VA industry, and you look at the top of the range, and I know some VAs that will charge 1,500 to 2,000 a day to go into a business and do consultancy work, right? So there you've got the top end of the scale, and then you've got the bottom end of the scale where some VAs, like offshore VAs, will pay, what is it, $15 an hour they'll charge. They may be charging a little bit more than that. So when you look at your skills and look at your confidence, because pricing is all about your level of confidence and being able to deliver quality to your clients, you need to plot yourself on that scale. So 2,000 a day, if you're just started, probably not. If you've been in a VA for a year or 2 years, you're probably somewhere in the middle. And that's where you need to plot yourself. And that's where you need to brand yourself. So pricing is about branding, positioning, and your level of confidence. There's a direct correlation between what you charge and how confident you are at delivering a quality service. So remember at the beginning where I said there's two investments that you should make. One, you're investing in marketing, and the other is you're investing in yourself, in your skills, and how you be the best at what you do. I'm going to put up a couple of comments on because they're really good comments. And I'm sorry I'm talking a bit much, but I really want to get this message through to you that pricing isn't about money and your business is about delivering a quality service. And remember, what you're in the business of is finding clients and retaining clients and keeping them. So let me put, before I get to the questions, I want to put pricing on its head here, right? And I don't know that you'll have heard this in too many other places, but let's get it to the crux of the matter. And if pricing isn't about money, right, and your business is about finding clients, then let's think about what you want from your business. Clearly, you need an income, right? And if you think most people, what would, if you were out working, you would be earning what, 80 to 100,000 a year? Yes, it is. And it is all part of your business journey. So say you're sitting and you're doing some planning, and it just so happens that our free Friday download is about planning this week. But you're doing some planning and you're thinking about next year and how much you want to earn for the year. And say it's 120,000 a year, and you bring that down to a month. It's 10,000 each month that you want to bring in. And you bring that down to a weekly amount, right? So it's 2,500. So say you work out that the number of clients that you can support are 10 clients a month. And each client has to pay you $250. So does it matter how much time they use up of your time? Or is it more important that they pay you the $250? What do you think? So when you get a new inquiry from a client who says, I want to put you on a retainer package, and you say, well, I don't talk hours because, I can do things a lot faster than the next VA. And quite frankly, that's not going to help you decide whether I can deliver on what you need delivered. But for every new client, I charge them $250 a week. And at the end of that month, we review that. So we might scale it down or we might scale it up. How do you feel about that model? How do you feel about removing yourself from that hourly rate discussion? Amy. Have I gone too far? So now that I've set the scene and I've probably gone a little bit over, I mean, Facebook says have a 15-minute live. We might be going over a little bit more than that, and I'll certainly leave a bit at the end for questions. Lucy said, yeah, Lucy, it is nerve-wracking. I agree with you. And that's why you need a business coach. You need someone to take you through this process to get to the other end. And it definitely comes with your confidence. Yes, Roz. What have you got to lose? You've got nothing to lose. And it may be that you work a bit longer that month, but you've got that client and you've got that client forever. Yes, and it does. How long did it take, Storm, for you to go from hourly rates to packages? It doesn't happen overnight, does it? Yes. always leave yourself wriggle, what we call wriggle room. You know, in every agreement that you go into with your clients, it's not set in concrete. And always put something in there to say that you'll review it in a week, or review it in 2 weeks, or review it in whenever. Okay, I'm not going 4 hours. No way. But I'm settling in. Yes, exactly. You create a package that would suit the client. I'm going to go over to the questions now in case we don't get time. I want to answer them all. Right. So, how do you estimate time duration for a job and rate of pay? And clearly, this is a new VA question, because as an existing VA, the more you do for clients, you should actually keep track of that so that you have like your own price list. Um, and you break down your services. So even if you're doing admin, and say you do um, email management, and you look after someone's inbox, zero inbox, um, you can work on averages, and you could say, once you've timed yourself, you can say, well, on average, I can get through 10 email messages in an hour, right? And that's an internal document that you have. You never tell the client how much you charge an hour, because sometimes your hourly rate will be more than what they're paying themselves. So it just sounds expensive, but you can I mean, you're the expert in admin or whatever services that you offer. And the client's coming looking for you because they don't know how to do it, and they can't do it, and they have no interest in learning how to do it. So you're the expert, and therefore you can keep a track. So as you work, as you do client work, as you work in your own business, you keep a track of how long everything takes you, and then have your own internal price list. And that's how you price jobs. You also look at the market and look at what other people are charging. And, you know, that plotting yourself on that line, you know, from the most expensive to the least expensive, that's where you plot yourself, where you position yourself as your confidence grows. I mean, when you start as a new VA, you might position yourself at the lower end because you don't have the confidence and you don't have the clients, but that's okay. You can say to the client, look, I'm a new VA. I would normally charge $50 an hour for this, but because you're my first client with this service, I'm going to charge you 25. The client will be happy. But the other thing you can say to the client, but this will only last so long because eventually I will charge my full rate. So you're leaving that gate open to increase those rates when you've had enough at that lower rate. So really, you estimate the time duration of a job by doing the job. Now, do it for yourself, do it for someone else. There's a lot of people on Facebook now that swap service for service. I see that all the time. So you could do that for someone and time it, and then you know how much you're going to charge. Now, does that answer that question? Ross? Yes, you are. Hi, Susan. Thanks for dropping in. No worries. I think I am recording it, hopefully. Yep, I think we've all seen that. All right, so let's go to the next question. And again, this is a typical situation when you start off as a new VA. We're all scared. I mean, we've not had our own clients before. It's a strange situation. Look at me getting ready for this Facebook Live, and I've done video conferencing for a long time. It's just something new, and you are concerned about it. And the thing is, it comes with your buildup of confidence. And what you have to do is be the best at what you do. So do more professional development, do more coaching, get more training, invest in yourself and invest in your marketing to see how you can build that confidence. And that's a really good example of having a low level of confidence when you start your VA business. But once you get a few clients under your belt, and once you start getting that good feedback, your confidence grows, trust me. So, and you're talking about probably an hourly rate here, whatever the service is that you're offering, go back to the per quantity based, a retainer based, or a project based, and see if you can fit it into one of those pricing models. Next question. So when starting out and knowing how long a new skill takes, how would I charge for it? Again, go back to my previous suggestion, service for service, offer to do it voluntarily for a not-for-profit. So do a few jobs with those skills and time yourself, and then you can cost it. How much is reasonable to charge for general admin tasks? And again, you do your market research. There is one word of warning. In Australia, we do have legislation against price fixing, and the ACCC monitor that. And I do see this in some of the groups that concerns me, where someone will go on and say, oh, I'm charging $35 an hour. How much are you charging? That is against the law in Australia to do that. It can be seen as price fixing. But what I can do is give you formulas. I can give you examples of what people charge, but I can't tell you what to charge, because otherwise I'd be seen as heavily influencing the market, and I can't do that. But what you can do as a VA is do your research, see what others are doing. And the other thing to do with admin tasks, because admin is such a generic topic, is be specific of what you do for admin. Okay, do you do zero inbox? Do you manage CRMs? Do you do website maintenance? There's a whole range of things that you can do under admin. And as a new VA, what to do is group those individual tasks into different groups. So when we talk about pricing retainers, we talk about good, better, best, giving your client choices. So the good or the basic would be, for instance, if you were doing admin, it may be that zero inbox support. It may be cleaning up their database. It may be doing a whole range, monitoring the chat, live chat on their website. So you group all of those together and you say, this is a set fee. This is bring you on at $250 a week. And then the better package can be all of that plus added extras. So that's the middle package. And that's so you go from $250 maybe to $350 or $400 a week. And then the best package is double what you charged for the middle one. So if it was $400, you charge $800 and you give them everything, right? So you give them all the bells and whistles. Because what happens with clients, they're the ones that don't quite trust you yet. They may have been referred to you. They'll go in at the lower package. And then as they build their confidence in what you can deliver, they'll extend that out to the middle package. And then are the ones that, if you make the middle package the most attractive, they'll go for that, right? And they're the ones that you really want in your business. And then the odd one will go for the top package because they like to pay, they like that, the fact that they have the top package. People will pay more for stuff because they feel they're getting better value, better quality. So that's a bit of a, a long-winded question. And if you're new VA, you're probably running scared at the moment. But look, I'm happy to talk this through with you. Look at the specific examples of what you're going to offer and put them into different groups with you and see how you go from there. Right. We're getting through them now. I'm going to look at I can't see all the comments while I'm doing the questions, but I'll look at those at the end. So how do you price a monthly retainer package? I think we've covered that. If not, and there's still more questions about it at the end, then I'll cover it in a bit more detail. But that's how you price a monthly retainer package. You look at the services that the client wants, you take it away, and you give them a fee, and that's it. You give them one fee, not an hourly rate. And they're not buying your time. What happens when clients buy your time is they're focused on how much time you spend with them instead of being focused on what you deliver and the quality of the service that you give, the benefits that you give. You may be saving them money in what you're doing. You could be bringing in bad debts and, really pushing through their coffers and making their business a lot healthier. And they're, instead of being focused on that, they're focused on how many hours it took you to get settled that bad invoice, not the fact that bad invoice was worth $80,000 to them. Whereas when you're not talking time and you're talking value, that's what you're focused on. Look how you brought in that $80,000 for me. And that shifts the mindset because they see you as a partner in the business rather than just an admin, just someone I'm buying their time from. How to ask clients for a budget for a project when they don't know what it is. So they don't know what their budget is. And this is the typical situation when you have a client who's a bit of a tire kicker, who doesn't quite trust you, right? Because if they don't tell you what your budget is, you can't work with them. And I'll tell you why. Because as a VA who has got this bag of tricks, who can do all sorts of services for them, you can do those services fast or you can do them slow. And depending on how much they're going to pay for you, right? Their budget will depend on how quickly you can deliver the deliverables. So if this is a project and they have no idea what their budget is, then you throw an amount in the middle. So you say to them, so it would be 10,000 be out of the question. I don't want an exact amount. I just want a ballpark figure because it'll help me put a really good quote together for you. And if they still don't tell you, then you walk away. You say, well, I'm sorry, I can't offer you any services because I don't know what your budget is. And if you don't trust me enough to tell me what your budget is or an idea of how much you're prepared to pay, then I don't think it will be a good working relationship. And I know that is probably not what you want to hear, but in the long term, if they stick to their guns and they won't help you come up with a good quote for them, then you are better walking away because they're going to be one of those clients. And we've all had them. And, you want to pick clients that you work well with and who work well with you. And having that trust initially is very important. How would you price prepaid packages and what services should be included? I think this is another, retainers and packages, people, it's the same thing, really. How do you price prepaid? Well, every new client that comes to you should be paying you an amount upfront, right? They're a new client. You don't want to go away, do the work, present it to them, and then they decided they've changed their mind. The reason why you say to the client, right, I'll send you the invoice and I can get started right away, is because that is them hiring you. right? That's the confirmation that you need. Now that invoice can be for $100, it can be for 50% of whatever. But if you're doing it as a retainer, they pay you in advance for that retainer. Okay. So whatever that 250 a week, they pay you that first, right? And if you're going to build them monthly. So you're billing them for $1,000 and they've paid you the first month upfront. There's nothing wrong with asking for 100% upfront. If you don't know what that amount is going to be, say it's a project, you might ask them for 50% upfront or a percentage upfront. That is a business decision that you make. But I know a lot of the VAs that come through one-to-one temps will ask for money upfront, the full amount, before they take on a client. There's too many examples of people being burned. Okay, and then I think that was the last of the questions. So Kerry says pricing transcription, what's the best way? The standard is per transcription minute. And if you do your research, Kerry, and go on to, there's a couple of big companies, transcription companies. There's one called Pacific something or other. Just Google it. They will actually take you on as a transcription. You'll do a bit of a test. There's a few of them, and they'll tell you what they, and if you look on their website, you can see what they charge. It's somewhere, I think, between $4 and $5 per transcription minute. No problem. Yes, it's a good habit to always have that 100% payment up front. If the client's genuine and they can afford to pay you, why shouldn't they? I mean, they wouldn't go online, order a product online without paying it. Why should they order from a VA and not pay for it? Any other questions? Yes, an hourly rate does punish you for working faster and smarter. And that's the thing, because if you're doing well in your business and you're building your skills, you'll get faster at things. You'll find innovative ways to do things. And look, I had an example from a VA this morning who said she gave a quote to the client for $400 and it took her 2 hours. Now, she would never have quoted that previously. She looked at the job, she thought it was going to take her longer, and it ended up taking her 2 hours. So she got paid $200 an hour. Now, that's an opportunity that you miss when you're saying, I work for $30 an hour, 35 an hour, 40 an hour, or 100 an hour. And let's face it, what happens if you plot your time at $100 an hour and you don't tell the client, right? So the client comes to you and says, I need X, Y, Z done, and I'd like to hire you to do that. And you say, well, great, I'll just get a quote for you and I'll come back and talk you through it. Then you make up the quote and you base your time on $100 an hour and you go back to the client. Now, you have an idea of what their budget is because you've asked them and they've given you've told them it's not set in stone. It's just to give you an idea of how fast to deliver the work. And remember that iron triangle. What is it? It's good, cheap, and fast. You can have two of those. You can't have three of those. So it can be good and cheap, but it'll be late. You can have cheap and fast, but it'll be minimal. And you can have fast and good, but it'll be expensive. And that's why you cost your packages. I don't know that there's any science behind the iron triangle, but if you've never heard of it before, Google it and up it will come. Oh my goodness, I've been on 37 minutes. These questions disappear when I click on them. Rose, my logic, I don't deserve the best, and that level of price difference, weird people, aren't we? Absolutely. And that comes back to your self-esteem and your self-confidence. And, just get started, Ross. Don't get bogged down in how much you're getting from that first client or for that first job. It's a learning experience. See it as an investment in you. Pick up a client, do some work for them, and settle down your nerves. You're not going to sit there forever. I won't let you. Push through those nerves, because honestly, you VAs have a lot to offer businesses, and you should be proud of what you do, and you should be getting recognized for that. And I mean, that's the other thing, that we all have an amount in our head that we feel valued for, right? So I wouldn't work for $20 an hour. No way. Why would I? But I do have an amount in my head that I would like to be paid. And there's an amount where I realistically think I should be paid. And then there's an amount that I won't work for. And we all have that. So draw those amounts out and write them down, because that will give you a better direction than anything else. Because when you start to take on clients, you want to be paid the amount that will make you feel good. And we all have that amount. Right. Ross is a prime example. She looked at a top package and chose the next one down because of how quickly technology can become superseded. Absolutely. And it's all relative. When people see the figures side by side, they go for the one that means more to them. If you just give them a take it or leave it, they'll take it. So I don't know who said this, but they're not scared. This is actually giving her confidence. And that's what I like to see, because it is about being confident. And if you're not confident in the services you deliver, then go and do some more learning. Try it out. Just practice, practice, practice until you get really good at it. That's all you have to do. Be the best. Be the best at what you do. Should it be just managing emails, getting that inbox to zero for your clients? Be the best at it. And that will boost your confidence, and enjoy it. One of my very first clients had me time all the activities I did for him. Nightmare. It is a nightmare. It's bean counting. Why would you want to do that? You don't have to. The 250 a week for general admin would be perfect for new VAs to get experience and confidence and understanding of different packages to offer. Yes, it is. And you're not if the business can afford $250 a week for a VA, then they probably shouldn't be hiring a VA. And there's legislation around doing bookkeeper work. Absolutely. Registered BAS agent, etc. rules. There is. You can't offer bookkeeping services unless you have the qualifications, unless you certainly can't submit a BAS unless you have got a registered to do that. There is a bookkeepers association. If you are wanting to do offer bookkeeping services, there is a bookkeepers association that offers support in that. Just look it up on Google. Yes, confidence is definitely a journey. Some people run through it. Other people take a long time to do it. And, you do it at your own pace. It's okay. It's okay to be a little bit uncomfortable with the things that, we're pushing you out of your comfort zone. There's a bit of frightness there. But think about the worst thing that can happen. And, so you take on a client, you tell them you can do the work and you can't do the work. Well, what you do is you come to a network like ours and you say, can someone help me with this? Can someone take this client on? So then you can go back to the client and say, look, I thought I could do it. I couldn't do it, but I've got someone who can. That's the worst case scenario. And, and if they're not happy with your work, then always give the money back. Have that 100% guarantee, no questions asked, money back. Because one bad client can do a lot of damage to you in the long term. And if you give really good customer service, remember that the three things that clients are looking for: reliability, competence, and trustworthiness. If you have those, then your clients will refer other clients. And that's where you'll grow your business, from that word of mouth referral. You won't get that from someone who's unhappy, and it's not worth, arguing over a couple of $100 for that, because in the long term, they'll pop up somewhere and they'll impact on your business. Right, I think that's it. Has anyone else got? Can I go now? uh, right. Right, there's a story here. From Lucy. And she's got an old colleague hounding me to work for him as an employee. I refuse, but I'm going to use him as my guinea pig in trialing the retainer basis. Yay! Absolutely. Win-win situation. That's great. And that's what you can do. You can draw on for new VAs. And I think we have got quite a few new VAs in the group. You need to do that outreach to friends and family to tell them what you're doing, and tell them that you're setting up a business and all about it. I've got a template somewhere. I'll look it out and I'll give it, not this Friday, the next Friday. I'll give that as a free template. You can copy and paste it into your emails, and you can send it out to everyone you know. Because if people don't know what you're doing, they won't know that you're looking for clients. And that can often be where your first client comes from, and your first couple of clients, because your friends and family want you to succeed. And if you say to them, well, this is what I'm doing, and you define the services and the type of people that will, that will help, you can help, and other small business owners and that sort of thing. And they can deliver those initial clients. And once you get an initial client, your nerve settles and your confidence grows. And that's where you've got to be. Thanks, Roz. I love having you on the group as well, and love everyone interacting. And yeah, thanks for joining me today. And there will be a recording. I'll put it up in the group files or videos for people to see. And yeah, look, it was okay in the end, I think. I'll have to look at the record. No, I'm not watching the recording. Couldn't do it. No. Comment from Storm, final comment, ask them what their budget is, and if you're happy to meet it, then do so. Otherwise, walk away. Yes, but it's hard to walk away when you're a new VA, and we all understand that, because you really want that first client. And, take them, but don't do it with a second one, and don't do it with a third client. Learn your lesson. Bye, everybody. Thanks for joining me. I might do it again. I don't know. We'll see.